All right, y'all. Thanks for being patient with me. If I could get confirmation that you all could hear me, I did some new stuff with my mic and my sound and everything. So if you could confirm that one, you can hear me, and two, that it sounds good, that would be pretty chill. Yo, I guess YouTube made it such that you can't. Hi, friends. Thank you for confirming. I guess YouTube made it such that you can't do ad blockers anymore. That's pretty whack. Right? Like, not great. So like in my little tab where I just monitor my own stream and keep open so that I can chat with you all, it's just like completely fucked up because the ads are messing me up. What are you doing, bro? Okay, Jesus. Sounds muy bueno. Excelente. I'm glad. Took some time to make it happen. So I'm glad that it worked out okay. I actually bought a new microphone. Oh, I was gifted a new microphone a long time ago. And I finally took the time to set it up, and it's broken. It doesn't work. It doesn't work straight out of the fucking box, which is whack as fuck, but I don't know, man. What can you do? They're probably just gonna like get me and send me a new one because it was purchased from Sweetwater, and from what I understand, they have a pretty good customer service / return policy and all that. So hopefully that's good. And do I run an interface? I don't, but I do have an audio interface for the new mic. And it wasn't even picking up the signal from it. The problem is that, well, I'll just show you. I have it right here. I have this Rode microphone, right? Right here, we've got 3 pins, okay? This pin is significantly like further out than the other 2. And to the point where you can kind of see it, probably not on camera, but like you can see it from the side. It's sticking out. And I was like, that's weird. I guess that's just how they go, but it doesn't work. And I looked it up, and it doesn't seem like that's a thing that's supposed to happen. So I'm guessing that's the problem. I tried calling them a few times, and it just the whole time was brutal. So I filled out a form on their website and whatever, and the problem is it's not a Shure. Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal, but those are like more expensive. This is the one that I was told was really good for my price range. So it was also a gift. So I don't know. If this is a bust, maybe I'll just get a Shure instead, you know? Okay, yes, that is a problem. Okay, it came out of the box like this, and I even tried pushing it in a bit. It's just there. So the what do you call these cables? The 3-prong guys? XLR maybe? Yeah. Like as I'm plugging it in, it'll show up, the signal will show up for like a second, and then it'll say that there's no signal. So it just doesn't work. I thought I was doing something terribly wrong. I was like, I mean, how hard can it be, right? XLR. Yeah, nice. But I guess it's just busted. Not my fault. What can you do? I have just a cheap interface. It's nothing fancy, so it's probably that maybe wasn't ideal or whatever, but whatever. It should like work, you know? I'm trying to think how I want to have my hat going. It's looking kind of sad. You know? This was a thrift store purchase, and I believe it is a Spirit Halloween hat. So, you know, we're not dealing, I mean, that looks pretty good. We're not dealing with a high caliber of costume here. The chat is very active today, like right off the bat. I'm very happy about that. Thanks, y'all. I guess this earlier time is popping off, and it was a good idea. I've been happy with Rode. Should be good once they fix it. Yeah, I think so. It's pretty good reviews that I was reading and everything. So they should be able to replace it. That pin shouldn't stick out like that. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all for assuring me that I didn't do anything egregiously wrong and that it's supposed to not. It's supposed to, it's not supposed to look like that. My hair is being an issue. Okay, so I have YouTube Premium. It's maybe the subscription service that I get the most out of, and I'm just seeing how many ads you non-premium people are getting, like on a live stream. This is brutal. How do you live like this? Not to shill for Google or whatever, but if you were on the fence about YouTube Premium, if you're on YouTube enough such that you're watching a live stream right now, you could probably get something out of it. And it comes with YouTube Music, and from what I understand, the ad revenue from premium users is higher than people who watch ads. So like I get more money from the watch time, I guess. That's what I'm told anyway. Of course, that's not the best way to support me, but it's something, right? I'm noticing I need to fix my tip goal. Let me do that. Okay, we're gonna end that. And then we're gonna redo it. Okay. There, I think this will work. Okay, sick. That worked. That's brutal. Y'all fucking dealing with the ads. I don't even understand. Premium is like 12 bucks. It's like not a lot. I like would go insane without it because I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So I don't know, man. Maybe look into it. This is the link where you can donate. Super chats, I turn them off because YouTube takes 50% of them, which is pretty outrageous. And Streamlabs does not take any. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that. It's not so bad. Twitch is much worse. Dude, I bet. The fucking ad economy is like insane. It's I will do a lot to not have to watch ads. Yo. Plastic Chuck, thank you with the $10. Off to a good start. Thank you. You're the best. I appreciate it. I didn't even have to say it yet. I was going to say we reset our tip goal for the month. So if you want to help me fill that up, that would be super tight. But Plastic Chuck is fucking on the case. Let's run that shit back. Let's go. All right. I'm behind on chat. Okay, 9volt says that he uses an ad blocker. So do I. But when I pulled up the stream today, it was like, hey, fuck you. You're not supposed to have an ad blocker. Either turn it off or you're going to get ads. Which Blu-ray.com does the same thing. It's fucking obnoxious. But like I also get it because this is like how this whole economy is run. But I tried turning the ads off on Blu-ray.com to like help them out, and they made the site unusable. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm kind of surprised YouTube didn't do this earlier, but I guess it wasn't an issue or there wasn't pressure to do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make more money now. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. Some of the ads are good stuff that I want. I mean, I guess the surveillance state is doing its job then, right? Jeff said it was 30 bucks a month. I pay 12. I don't know. And that includes YouTube Music, so it's really not bad. Oh, the hat is cute. I like how it's knitted on the top. Thank you. I appreciate that. The ads are so long, but it's good for content creators. Yeah, I mean, I'll just say on the other end of it, like supporting somebody on Patreon, you do the equivalent of like literally thousands and thousands of views and like ad watches. So like it's not nothing, but you know, don't feel like you have to sit through crazy amounts of ads just for the content creator. It's like if you really want to help them out, channel memberships, Patreon tips, all of that goes like way further. So that's just a little bit of behind the scenes. Cemetery Man asks, how was the unholiest of spooky days, chat and Celeste? Yes, that's gonna be my question for you all. I want to hear about your Halloweens. I want to hear about what y'all did to celebrate. I hosted, I think, I'm trying to make sure I'm not making this up. I don't think I've ever hosted like a party at my house in my life. And I did that. Me and Val had some people over and I curated and he helped me host a 12-hour horror marathon. We'll get to what we watched soon because we're going to go through all of the October watches, but we got through 10 films yesterday. That includes, I think that's 5 features and 5 shorts. So it was pretty dope. Yeah, and I think it was successful. We didn't like pack out the house or anything, but we don't have the biggest space anyway. So most people showed up at the end. So it was mostly just me for the first part. But like, I figured even if nobody came, I just wanted to watch movies all day anyway. So that's good. All right, my mic placement is blocking my hair, so that's not good. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let's see. Do I need to catch up on any other chats? I'm really enjoying how active you all are. Thank you. Did you ever use the free version of Letterboxd that is basically unusable with the ads they shove in your face? I probably when I first, I mean, I think I signed up pretty quick after I got on Letterboxd because I was like if I use a site a lot, I'll sign up for your premium version so I don't have to look at ads. And so I get special features and stuff. Like I'll do it. So it was pretty soon after that I just went ahead and signed up. So I haven't used it, the free version, in a while. We handed out candy and then fell asleep. Nice. Val handed out stickers and Halloween treats. Apparently the very young kids were grabbing the gay stickers by the handful, so doing our part in corrupting the youth. Hopefully, I don't know, man, Liv's a TikTok and go ahead and clip that. It'll at least help my engagement. This is my lunch. I've not done the best at eating today, but that's okay. I have stuff that I'll be making after this, so we're good. I'll be eating real food at some point. Make America gay again. That is correct. That's the MAGA movement I can get behind. I wish it was ever gay enough that that would be a tenable slogan, but you know, we're gonna make it gay just in general for the first time or whatever. Chilled and watched Haunted Ween and Trick or Treat. First time watches, vibes were perfect, and it was a great double feature. Haunted Ween is so charming, and I'm probably going to do it next year. What was I saying? Oh, I think I'm gonna start making this a thing because I had a lot of fun and I really liked it. So Haunted Ween was one. Which Trick or Treat? The one that's the newer one or the older one? The one that just came out in that big chunky ass fucking box set, or the one that's more popular that I don't like? Regardless, I'm sure that was a good vibe. Let me know if my connection is okay, by the way. I realized that I forgot to run and plug in my Ethernet cable. So yeah. Okay, the 86 one. I still need to watch that. Maybe I'll program it next year. But I really don't like the other one. It's just I don't like it. Chilled with pizza and watched Hellraiser 1 through 4. Bless that sexy Arrow box set. Yeah. I love that set so much. It's one of my favorite things that I have. Do I have it in my backdrop? That's interesting. I would have thought I would have chose that. Maybe I'll switch it out for something at some point. You look like you lost weight. I don't think I did. If I did, it was incidental. I am seeing some buffering, but it could be on my end. It is probably not on your end. Let me go plug that in. Sorry about that, y'all. I will be right back. Okay, hopefully that worked. Yeah, we'll see. I tried turning the Wi-Fi off entirely and it seemed to not work, so hopefully it's not being obnoxious. Did somebody tip something else? It didn't come through. Make yourself known, please. I see I got a $6.66 tip somehow. Probably because my Wi-Fi was off or something, but we'll run it back regardless. Thank you. Appreciate you, whoever that was. Sorry, I'm like all thrown off by my fucking YouTube looking like shit because of all the goddamn ads. I have the premium on my personal account, but not on my like channel account. I've thought about transferring it over so that it's all just one thing, but I've had that other account for like fucking 15 years or something, so it's a lot of watch history and all this other stuff, and all my subscriptions and everything is all there, so it's like but you know, regardless. Yes, let's fill this chat on screen back up. Let me make sure if I need to, let's see if I need to catch up. Jeff says he has it on his Plex. I actually don't know that I have your Plex on my on my end. I think I need to put it like on my thing so I can access it. Hopefully the connection is okay. I'm still a little bit worried about that, but should be all right. I'm trying to get this preview bar to go away on my fucking monitor. It's being annoying. Okay. There we go. Nice. All right. I'm dying to know your thoughts on the October 1st watches. Well, since you asked so nicely, I guess we could probably go ahead and get started. What's the rundown of that 12 movie marathon? It was 10, but we'll go through it. We'll get to it. I promise. Dying to know what hair colors she used because that's really pretty. Thank you. I use the Arctic Fox Purple AF. That's the one that I use. It's already faded a bit. Like it looked fucking amazing when I first did it. And I think it still looks good. It's just not quite what I was going for. So it's fading faster than I would have wanted, but it's okay. It is what it is. I'll be redoing it at some point. And maybe if anybody has any recommendations for purple hair dye that last a long time, let me know. Because I did everything right this time. And I usually just don't care and like wash like normal, but I've been pretty careful about, like, I didn't wash it for like 2 days after I first did it. And then I like have been good about not putting like super hot water on it. And I have put a little bit in my conditioner to keep it freshened up. The whole thing. Got a bunch of stuff on there. Eat a Joy Alicardo is also on there. Nice. All right. I guess let's go ahead and get started. I feel like there's a better way to display this, but this is how I'm going to do it. So it's not going to be the prettiest, but it'll be something. Okay. All right. So if you're not familiar, Unsung Horrors does the Horror Gives Back challenge every year, where they put up 31 categories for 31 different horror films that you watch during the month of October. And I think the rules are for each film you watch in the whole month, you donate $1, but I'm broke as fuck. So we're just going to be doing the ones that I watched for the challenge. So I'll donate $31. Let me find the link so I can throw it in the chat. But if you all want to participate, here's the collective donation thing so that they can have a cool number. Is this the one? I'm not following them on Facebook. Let me do that. I'm trying to find the link. see if this is here. No. Trying to find their link. Vivid colors my hairdresser used. See, I am too blind. Joico? I don't know if you can buy it if you're not a hairdresser, but it was good stuff. Okay. If this shit is fucking up. Okay. I think it should work now. Hopefully. I swear to God. Please let me know if the connection is fucked up again. You can buy Joico at Hair Color USA. Let's see how much it is. Sorry I couldn't find that link. Purple. Okay, yeah, I mean, they do have it, and it looks pretty affordable. So I'll give it a shot. Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate that. All right. Anyway, so they have a link somewhere where you can just where you donate to the charity that they picked, which is Best Friends Animal Society. And they just have, I think it's through the 8th to give people a little bit of time to get paid and stuff like that. And then they get a big community number at the end of it. Hold on. I'm bad at this. I need to find the link. I should have put it in the description of my list. If I'm being honest, that would have been smart. Let's see if it's in Erica's list. It is. Nice. Cool. I found it. Oh my God. Yo, I'm having like the worst technical day right now, which is unfortunate because it's been popping off in here and I'm out here dropping the ball. Let's see. Why is that not working? Okay, well, hold on. Nothing is working for me right now, so let me do it this way. Well, at least I got confirmation that my stream is still working. You're good, we're not going anywhere. I appreciate that. I would love to believe you for everybody, but you know, better than dropping plates. Yo. Fucking hard-ass Disturbed. I don't think Disturbed is like the worst band out there. It's too bad that their singer is like a genocidal maniac, but other than that, dog, what is happening? Nothing is working. This is so weird. Did I buy any cheap Scream Factory titles during the sale? I couldn't resist. I did get one. I will admit. I got the Evil Dead remake. Because it was 15 bucks and I like that movie a lot. So I did get that. I wanted more. There was definitely stuff that I really thought about getting. It was difficult to not do that, but scary phone. I don't know what that means, but phones are kind of scary. All right. Thankfully, I figured this out finally, so here's that. So if anybody wants to participate in donating $1 for however many horror movies you wanted to watch or you ended up watching in October, there's the link. Best Friends is a cool ass animal charity. Okay, I see that they're at I can go ahead and share my screen again. So it seems that they are at $761 out of their $1,500 goal. So not bad. Oh, the skimmering phone. It is the scary phone. There he is. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Isn't that the phone from ER? That movie, that very scary phone in the house. Yep. Yep. It sure is. I see some people were out here watching 105 horror movies unless they were doing more than $1 per. About the cause. When you donate to my fundraiser, you'll be helping around 1,600 dogs, cats, bunnies, birds, horses, and other barnyard animals who on any given day reside at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. Plus, you'll be helping save the lives of homeless pets all across the country through life-saving adoption and spay-neuter programs, no-kill initiatives, and more. They're also a pretty cool, like, vegan organization. I don't think that they're as front-facing about that because it's like people are weird about it when you want to save all the animals instead of just the ones that people typically care about, but that's a cool thing about them. So there's that. That's sort of the rundown for it. I feel like that's a pretty good number considering that it just ended. Actually, I was like, oh, I hope that they get there, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Go back over here, and then let me put that in the description of my list so I don't have to do this again. Should have done this at the beginning. I've got some kind of insane ad going on my my screen. That's wild, dude. I don't know what happened. Val, I know that you're a big ad block person. Does ad block still work on your YouTube? I'm pretty sure it would work if I used a VPN, but I don't really feel like doing all that right now. I wish I knew who donated the extra money there. Actually, hold on. I can maybe check. Yes, it does. Interesting. Okay. It was 9-volt digital cinema, I think. If that's to be believed. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're still here. Okay. So that's the idea. The collective fundraiser to help out Best Friends Animal Society, puppies and kittens and pigs and cows and all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff. uBlock Origin plus Firefox plus sponsor block extension is my winning combo. I love how the lengths you will go to not see an ad in your life. I think that's commendable. Advertising is like, I don't know, man. It kind of makes me feel like I'm going insane. Then a cat. We love the cat. Val has it on lock. He sure does, dude. All right. Now let's actually go through it. Now that we're 44 minutes into the stream and I haven't even gotten started. That's pretty cool. Thanks, y'all. All right. Let's go back over here. Cool. So I have these ranked from worst to best. I'm sure there was a better, attractive, like carousel type way for me to display these titles, but this is how I'm doing it without spoiling the rest of the list. So bear with me. The first one was this film called House. I watched this because the God Awful Movies podcast covered it, and I could do I did a lot of, okay, more preamble. If you watched my segment at the beginning of the month, you'll see the films that I had picked then and see that they're almost entirely different from the ones that I actually watched. Because I watch movies for a lot of different things, keeping up with podcasts and work projects and, you know, what's out in theaters, whatever I felt like watching. There's a lot of different reasons why I'll end up watching something. And so I ended up changing a lot of these to fit the category sort of post hoc, I guess. And this was one of them because I managed to squeeze it in a category here. This is the Hail Satan category. It's kind of, it's a little bit borderline. There is Satanism in the movie. Okay, it counts. Relax. But it's not a movie about Satan. It's a dumb Christian movie, and their ultimate villain is Satan. So they like come across like a Baphomet up on the wall and like painted pentagrams and shit. Any movie named House that isn't the George Wendt film or the Crazy Asian film doesn't exist. I mean, this one might as well not. It was hard to find because of that. The guilty cannot hide. Trying to recover from the nearly marriage-breaking stress following the death of their child, Jack and Stephanie spontaneously take off on a road trip. But when their car breaks down in a remote area, they find themselves in a horrific nightmare. Seeking shelter in a house, they soon realize that more danger lurks inside than outside in this spine chiller. Based on the bestseller. I guess it was a bestseller, y'all. Maybe it was actually a house in the book, but this is a hotel. It's not a house. It's crazy to me. There's not a house in the movie House, like at all, even a little bit, not a single time, not a single frame of this film has a house in it. It's a hotel. Insane. I don't remember too much about it, if I'm being honest. Wait, is this? Yeah, this guy is in it, which is crazy. Bill Moseley. What the fuck? So it has some sort of, and Michael Madsen is in it too, which is fun. So like they got real people in this piece of shit movie, but it's really bad. I don't know what to tell you. I've owned that movie for so long and could never get myself to watch it. Does this film even exist on a physical format? Hold on. Let me see. Let me see here. It does. Where did you even find this? This is a, what, German Blu-ray? Sun Film Entertainment? Yes, Bill Moseley is in it, apparently, which is crazy. DVD from many years ago. That makes sense. This does feel like the kind of thing that would just sort of be around in DVD format in very cheap bargain bins and stuff. Lance Henriksen. Yeah. There's a lot of exploitation caliber in this film, but it's just a shitty Christian movie. I'm trying to remember more about it. Maybe we should watch the trailer together. Would that be fun? It is indeed Christian propaganda. I own this on I never expected this to be the one where everybody was like, oh yeah, I have that. I own this on DVD from when I worked at Blockbuster, and I've never watched it. I have not seen Strange Darling. I meant to when it came out and I didn't get around to it. So what can you do? This movie is on YouTube if you feel like watching it. I don't recommend it, but it does exist. All right, here's a trailer. Is it going to make me watch an ad? Oh my God, dude. Okay. All right. Now let's do this again. And then unmute me. And then see if we can jog my memory together. You know what? I know why I didn't remember anything about this. My cat went missing at the beginning of the month. And I had to just be fucking posted up. seeing if he was outside, waiting for him to come back because I had all his stuff outside. And he came back eventually. It wasn't too bad. He was out for less than a day. But I was just sitting there and I was like, well, I might as well do something. So I watched this on my phone because I didn't think I needed to pay much attention anyway. I was like, okay. Giving myself some credit. I barely paid attention to this because I was very stressed out because Bigwig was missing and this movie's terrible. Wait, a Christian propaganda film that's rated R. Yeah, I think this one was less like pure flicks type stuff or whatever. It's like clearly that's what it is, but they like tricked people into being in it and into watching it. Sort of like how I don't know, like Constantine is like that. That's just like religious propaganda, but like, you know, edgy, right?
Hey, I guess we're not the only ones that are here.
Never heard of these authors, dude.
Oh, no. We were just looking
Maybe that's on me.
There's places without a charm.
Randy-sized motels.
Yeah, it's mom and pop places.
Hello there.
See? Hail Satan. It counts.
Hey, did you hear that?
There's something written on it.
House rules. Rule number 1, God came into my house and I killed him. Rule number 2, I will kill anyone
really
who
so
comes into my
stupid.
house like I killed God. Rule number 3, give me one dead body before sunrise and I'll let rule number 2 slide.
Those aren't rules.
I'm getting out of here.
Talking about that's not a rule. I killed God is not a rule. That's just like you telling me something. Jesus.
They say he only goes after the guilty.
2 hours till sunrise.
Sorriest bunch of sinners I ever seen. Steph, this isn't real.
Well, it's out. You can see it if you want. It's not good, and I don't recommend it. So there's that. I'm going back to my own video now. All right. Yeah, I remember this a little bit now. It's just like a fucking kind of like maybe Saw or like Cube type ripoff, but like about 1,000 times worse than even the worst versions of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, rough. Looks very on the Blockbuster shelf, circa mid-2000s. That's exactly what it is. This is a straight to Blockbuster classic. Add this to the Patreon, YouTube watch along list with viewers. I want to watch you talk shit on it the whole time. Yeah, I might. I still need to do that. Man, time goes by really fast, huh? I feel like I was just telling you all, oh, I'm going to revamp my Patreon soon. And that was a week ago, so that's kind of crazy. Okay. What do we got? I wanted to look up something. Oh, right. I recommend Harvest Brood 2025. Watched it yesterday on YouTube. Let's see what it is. Yeah, we're going to set up some watch parties for terrible Christian movies so that I can kind of let this out of my system a little bit. Harvest Brood. Interesting. The short one. In October 2006, the community of Briar, Alabama was terrorized by a series of gruesome killings. This film is an account of the horrors that unfolded during that fateful autumn. Okay. SOV, Halloween, slasher meets mockumentary investigation. This definitely sounds like my sort of thing, so I'm actually going to check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. All right, moving along. That's the worst film I watched in the challenge. Moving on to the second worst one, and it's pretty close, honestly. More Christian propaganda slop. Don't fight me on my characterization of this, because that's exactly what this shit is. The Conjuring Last Rites. I bought a ticket to this on accident. Let me explain. I use MoviePass, and sometimes I'm not trying to get anything, so I just get just a random thing in the future, and then I'll change it for store credit, my Fandango credit or whatever. But every once in a while, I will just forget to do that, and then the showtime will come and go. So I gave this stupid piece of shit money, and that makes me really angry, actually. I think the first one is really good, despite how ethically bankrupt it is. I think the first one is an excellent, like, just really great, like, haunted house horror movie. Like, James Wan knows how to make a fucking horror movie. That's just a fact, you know? Oh, I missed this. Corinne, thank you for the compliment and for the happy Halloween. I appreciate it. That second one, I still think it's so overtly like Catholic propaganda that I couldn't quite get behind it, but it was still like effective. And then the The third one is terrible, and then this one is the worst one yet. It's so long and it's boring as fuck. Dude, nothing happens in this fucking movie. Okay, in case you didn't know, these people, Ed and Lorraine Warren, are straightforwardly like sexual predator grifters that like just make shit up, like, you know, build their careers on misinformation and like scamming vulnerable people. And now because of these movies, they have this like legacy as like these incredible ghost hunters or whatever. And I think that that's unfortunate, but the cat's out of the bag at this point. And yeah, this one's really bad. Like, this dude fucking was in a relationship with like a underage girl for a while, and like not great. And now they're like having this sweet romance in this fucking movie. Okay, this poster is pretty good, but other than that, this movie's terrible. Honestly, I could forgive a lot as long as your shit isn't boring. Is that the true story behind them? It sure is, dude. They're not great. Let me make sure. Okay, I'm on their Wikipedia. Scroll down to accusations. Yikes. In 2017, Judith Penny claimed that she had a 40-year sexual relationship with Ed, beginning when he was 27 and she was 15. According to Penny, when she became pregnant, Lorraine persuaded her to have an abortion because the birth of a child would become a public scandal and could ruin the Warrens' business. Penny also claimed to have witnessed the couple engaged in physical abuse. Lorraine had it written in her contract for the Conjuring film series that she and Ed could not be portrayed. Bro, Lorraine had it written into her contract for the Conjuring film series that she and Ed could not be portrayed engaging in extramarital affairs or engaging in crimes like sex with a minor. The Warrens' daughter and son-in-law said they never saw any of the alleged conduct during the decades they spent with the Warrens and Penny. Okay. So keep that in the back of your mind when you think about how much fucking money has been made off of these people's grift. Because I don't know if you know this, but Catholicism isn't real. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry to be the edgy atheist today, but that's just a fact. And all of what they did is just straightforwardly Catholic propaganda and demonic forces, ghosts, all that shit. It's all fake. It's nothing. And they just fucking prey on like mentally ill and vulnerable people, like exploiting them for their money and exploiting the larger public with like book deals and all this shit. Edgy Atheist could be your atheist cover band, actually. You know, you can make it harder, and then it's like now they hunt the ghost of the aborted fetus. Maybe that's in their like chamber of like cursed shit, you know? You go you go down in the basement and it's like the Raggedy Ann doll and like a nun outfit and a mirror, I guess, now, and preserved aborted fetus, and they're just like, what's that? And they say, you know what? We don't talk about that one. Don't worry about it. All right. Sorry not to cancel Ed and Lorraine Warren, but here we are. Let me read this. Ed and Lorraine Warren were members of the Roman Catholic Church. That's strike one, if I'm being honest. The Warrens believed that demonic forces were likely to possess those who lacked faith. Interesting. Interesting. Well, these people are dead now, so at least that's something. Criticism. According to a 1997 interview with the Kinetic Post, Steve Novella and Perry DeAngelis investigated the Warrens for the New England Skeptical Society. Let me put this on the screen for you all. I mean, not to be rude, but I think God canceled them for me because, you know, they're dead. Okay. Investigated the Warrens from the New England Skeptical Society. They found the couple to be pleasant people, but saw them, quote, at best, as tellers of meaningless ghost stories and at worst, dangerous frauds. It's the second one. They took the $13 tour and looked at all the evidence the Warrens had for spirits and ghosts. They watched the videos and looked at the best evidence the Warrens had. They concluded it's all blarney. That's a fun word. They found common errors with flash photography, and that's a funny quote. That you get like a real fucking person to like confirm if there's something evil in your artifacts. Like, bro. They're not doing good scientific investigation. They have a predetermined conclusion which they adhere to literally and religiously. Lorraine Warren said the problem with DeAngelis and Novella was that they, quote, don't base anything on a god. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a bunch of crap. So anyway, I don't like these movies. I wish they didn't exist, but it is what it is. Everyone's saying I should cancel them. All right, well, I did it. Good work, everyone. We canceled Ed and Lorraine Warren. Okay, so that's that one. These are just bad movies at this point too. Like, can we be done? I don't blame Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga for not wanting to do this shit anymore, even though I guess it pays the bills. This made a bunch of money. Anyway. Next. Okay. Monster, the Ed Gein story. Did I write a review for this? Probably just plugging. Yeah, okay. I have a lot of thoughts on this, which now exist on my and Girls, Guts, and Jallows Patreons as a bonus episode, available for subscribers or for individual purchase. Sign up for my Patreon if you want to hear this. It's available for second and above tier members, or you can just buy it as a pay-per-view type thing. It's like a 2-hour conversation where we really get into this. As you can see, I gave it a very negative rating, but I actually think it's a very complex and nuanced sort of thing. Jeff says, I listened to your podcast with it. I was so glad to hear your take. Thank you. I would love to hear your take, Jeff, because I know you fucking hated this. Basically, the short version is that I think that this is extremely entertaining, but extremely indefensible and shouldn't exist. So there's that one. Del, thank you for being here. What's up? Next, Stelvio Cipriani. That's a composer. Nice watching, but I only see 9 likes. Get on it. Del is calling y'all the fuck out, and you know what? He's right. Hit that shit. Hit that like button, please, and thank you. Okay. We were both what the fucking the whole time, basically. Yeah, it's insane what they did with this. Like, it is. There's things that happen in this where I feel like you could describe it and people wouldn't and shouldn't believe you, because why would somebody do that? Like, that's crazy. It was a great conversation. I'll probably never watch it though. I mean, it's 8 hours long, so like, I probably wouldn't do it if it wasn't for work. I'm probably gonna make a video for the main channel about it, and I might go back and review season 2 as well, because I think that this is really fascinating, like culturally speaking, even if it's sort of indefensible artistically speaking and socially speaking, I guess, right? Oh, Piranha. I don't know, man. This movie's really boring, but it is noticeable for being, or notable for being, James Cameron's like first proper film, I think. Yeah, it is. He would prefer you think that he would prefer that you think The Terminator is his first movie, because he says that he didn't really. I mean, I see where he's coming from a little bit, in that like the original director was fired and he was just kind of put in this position, and then he didn't get final cut, and like he had relatively little to do with this compared to the rest of his filmography, but like this is technically his first movie, which, like, I don't know, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's sort of inspirational to see that you can go from this to where he's at now, right? But I mean, yeah, it's not good. Like, even as a person who likes shitty, well, the shitty Jaws ripoffs are not my favorite type of exploitation movie. I feel like they all kind of fall to the same trappings and can be kind of boring, and this was definitely one of them. But the scenes where the piranhas are like flying through windows and ripping necks out and shit are pretty entertaining, so I'll give you that. But yeah, this exists on my Plex server if you want to watch it, but I don't know that I recommend it, to be honest. So before I forget to mention, can you bring up and talk about the Vincent drops? I don't think I'm going to do that on stream. I think I need to get back into making exclusive content. So the goal is after the stream tonight, I'm going to record that and put it up on my Patreon for those folks, because I haven't done anything exclusive for them in a long time. And that's not cool of me. So I need to just do that. I might revamp like what types of videos I make for the Patreon, because I don't know, just reacting to Blu-ray announcements is like not really doing it for me anymore these days, but and it's just so much talking, but I will probably do it. I'm thinking about getting like a plugin to like read the descriptions for me so I can preserve my voice a little bit, because it like I genuinely feel like my voice is tired at the end of doing those videos. It's so much fucking reading. Especially the Vinegar Syndrome ones are brutal. Next is the Demon Rat. A precautionary tale. Mutantes del año. How do you say 2000 in Spanish? 2000? I think that's right. Don't come for me. I'm a poser, okay? I don't speak Spanish. A teacher in the middle of a messy divorce discovers that her husband has been recklessly dumping nuclear waste and wreaking havoc on the nearby wildlife. Now she must contend with a feral mutated rat in her home and her soon-to-be ex who will do anything to keep his secrets. So this is a VSA. It's directed by Ruben Galindo Jr., who I was talking up on the recent episode of Punk Vacation for this trilogy of gothic horror that he did, which I do really enjoy. This one is just, I don't know, it's way too long. It's very slow. There's not a lot that happens in it. I'm going to be selling my copy, so if you want it, hit me up. It's out of print now, so, you know, I'm going to be passing along my copy, because, like, it was decent for what it was as, like, a kind of dumb movie, like, first one-time watch or whatever, but it's not great, right? So, the bits with the rat are fun, but they're very few and far between. Like, this is a glacial pace, and, like, they do not have enough script for this. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, so like this takes place in like the future where like the shit that we've done to the environment is so extreme such that like people can't even go outside without wearing like gas masks and stuff like that. So it's just like a pretty straightforwardly like pro-environmental movie. And my review joke, which I'm proud of, that flopped, is maybe if we had elected more demon rats, the environment wouldn't be quite this fucked. Shaking my head. I thought that was a pretty good joke, but whatever, it's fine. Next is Animal Attack. Look, this is a questionable addition to this category. There's barely an animal attack in this. There is technically a scene where an animal attacks, but I think it advertises itself as being way more of an animal attack film than it actually is. This film is called Daddy's Deadly Darling, or Pigs. I prefer the Pigs title. I have the 88 Films Blu-ray, and I am also going to be selling that, so if you want it, hit me up. A madman, a psycho killer, and mean cannibal pigs all together in the scariest film you'll ever see. All right, relax. The owner of a roadside diner and his new helper kill people and feed them to pigs. That sounds like a lot of fun, right? And this poster, bro, this poster is hard. that's an all-timer. I would hang that up. But the movie is pretty boring. There's just, hello Mama Blu-ray, thank you for being here. There's just not a lot that happens in this. Yeah, it's just not the best. Yeah, just kind of, it exists. It is what it is. It goes a little bit off the rails at the end. My justification for having this in the animal attack category, even though there's barely an animal attack in it, is that it was on a bunch of animal attack lists that I was looking at. So, you know, I guess it counts. Bonnie. Oh, I'm guessing that's that's Mama Blu-ray's name. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I guess check it out if you want, but I was expecting and hoping for, I wrote a review for it, and I just said not enough pigs, which is just accurate. Is there a good platform to sell collectible DVD and Blu-ray that isn't eBay? Why didn't you use Piranha 2 for that category? Gee, in retrospect, that would have been a good idea, but it's because the Piranha 2 category was very specific to that composer, and there wasn't really anything else that I was seeing that I either owned or was like on my priority watch list or anything. So we're you know what? We're we're treating the categories as flexible living documents, I guess, right? You know, it's chill. I guess I couldn't switch them because the composer isn't on this movie, you know. There's at least one more where it's a little bit questionable, but I just made it work, so it's fine. Okay, is there a good platform to sell collectible DVD Blu-ray that isn't eBay? I would say Facebook or Discord. Like if you're in Blu-ray Discord groups, like if you're in the Disconnected group, if you're in my Discord group, you can sell stuff there. But like Facebook groups, like the Vinegar Syndrome group or just the general Blu-ray groups or whatever, like that's where I've bought most of my stuff and where I have sold stuff in the past. I'm gonna put all my stuff that I'm selling up on my Discord first, and then probably run Ryan's Discord, and then probably in on Facebook. Because eBay, it really is brutal. They take away it's very convenient, like it's effective and it works, but they take so much, you know? Hit the like indeed. Sounds like the Oscars, category fraud. Look, we're pro fraud in this stream, okay? It's cool. My showdown lists can get a little questionable sometimes. Yeah, you know, you make it work. I don't use Meta products. I'll have to look into Discord. That's fair. I believe you're on my Patreon, right? So if you go through there's instructions on how to link Discord. Other than that, I don't know. I know some people have Facebook accounts just for like the marketplace and for groups and stuff, because it is kind of trash as like a social platform, but it is really good for those things. So, but also I get it. You could use Valve's ad block system and not give them any money. Next, 1990s, we have The Suckling. Nice. He'll always be mommy's little mutant. Okay. A woman goes, wow, Addie, thank you. I appreciate it. With the $5, let's go. We're running that shit back. Thank you. Look at Godzilla dance. He's so fucking stoked. All right. We're at 7.22% of our goal. Hell yeah. We're cruising. How many weeks are in November? Let's find out. How many Saturdays are in November? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Not bad. So 20% is the goal if we can do it. A woman goes a woman goes to a back alley abortion clinic only to have her aborted fetus attack her boyfriend, and everyone else at the clinic. So with a premise like that, I was like, this might actually be the greatest film of all time. Like if it delivers on what it promises, this might be the best film ever made, right? Okay. Well, here's my review anyway. 30 minutes or so of this rule and are a total blast, but the rest are unfortunately a real slog. I would watch this again though. Honestly, the premise and some of the shit that happens in it is so insane that it would be a great like party movie or like get high with friends and watch a movie. Unfortunately, so much of it, nothing really happens, but I think this is also one that is growing on me in retrospect, like in my memory. There's just some real singular stuff that happens in here. Okay, so this is like it's not only a back alley abortion clinic, it's also a brothel. They're doing like a 2-in-1. They're doing like a combination fucking KFC Taco Bell type of deal with this, right? So you could just, you know, do both, I guess, or whatever. You know, 2-in-1 trip. And like the politics of this are questionable as well. Questionable in that there's bad politics, but that there's also maybe good politics. And like it seems confused about what it's trying to be. Like I thought that this was going to be like straightforwardly like anti-abortion propaganda, which like, you know, it's not great, especially in the moment that we're existing, but like that could be extremely entertaining still, nonetheless, right? But in the film, like, she doesn't choose it. Like, her boyfriend like pressures her into going, and then they like drug her and drug her and trick her into getting the abortion. They like drug her, and then she wakes up having had the abortion. But then the fetus like falls into toxic waste, a la Ninja Turtles in the fucking sewer, right? And turns into this monstrous creature. So it's kind of like, if you think about it, right? If you think about it, it's like we're saying, what am I trying to say? This is what happens when you don't give people the choice, right? Because pro-choice goes both ways. She should be able to have the baby if she wants, you know? So that's my sort of squint and try to make this justifiable, or you know, not completely deranged. Brothel slash abortion clinic is insane. It sure is. Somebody came up with that, you know? Look at him. You know what I'm saying? I think this and It's Alive would make a great double feature. Yeah, that would be good. That's my 90s category. Next we have In Memoriam. This was the last minute one. I just needed to, we're down to the wire. I needed to get something. So, Absurd Encounter with Fear. This is one of David Lynch's, this in 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. Another good one. This is, my David Lynch pick. This joke is fun. It's kind of funny if you've seen it. It's not that funny though. I'll be honest. A man approaches a woman in a field. I mean, it's 2 minutes. That is what happens. You know, it's fine. I put this at the bottom because I don't even really know. I mean, I put it at the bottom of my 6 out of 10s because I don't really know how to like judge it against like other stuff, because this is just like a student short film. So like it's kind of categorically a different thing, but there's that. I wanted to do like a feature length horror thing, but you know. Yeah, I've heard that movie's really good. I need to see it. Unsung Horrors rule, so that means less than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. Confessions of a Psycho Cat. I'll be reviewing this for Punk Vacation. But yeah, Weird Wild Way Out. A deranged wealthy woman offers $100,000 to 3 men if they can stay alive for 24 hours in Manhattan, and then hunts them down. So it's the most dangerous game, but it's a woman, essentially. This is fairly entertaining for what it is, but, you know, it's not my favorite thing I've ever seen or anything like that. As you can see from the poster, that's where they got the cover art for the Distropix release. But it's short. I'll say that. I think the premise is better than the execution, to be honest. And then we have, sounds interesting. Yeah, it's not bad. If you have the Blu-ray, it's worth watching, I think. The Fat Black Pussycat, 1960s is the category. I'm also reviewing this for Punk Vacation. And this was another 2-for-1 sort of thing where like I needed to watch these anyway, so I made them fit the categories. 69 minutes. Yep. This is the tale of 5 wanton women whose desires were satisfied and more by the fat black pussycat. I don't know that that's a very good description of what happens in this movie. A detective investigates the murders of 3 young women searching for the killer with a fetish for high heels. This one's a lot longer. It started out really well, I think, actually. It was a very entertaining, like, kind of detective thriller. And then it just kind of, a lot of these 60s sexploitation movies, there's just very, very thin premises, and they don't have the script to back up the runtime. And so it's like a lot of nothing and a lot of just fluff and filler. It's not bad. Like, it's decent. Both of these, honestly, despite this sort of lukewarm praise, the double feature itself is one of Distropix's better releases, to be honest. Next is Bleeding Skull. So anything that has been featured in any Bleeding Skull book, list, review, what have you. Went with Troll 2. A friend of mine hosted a screening of this, so we went to see it, and that's how a lot of those Dave Friedman nudie cuties are. Yeah, I mean, this whole era is just like, all you had to do was have titties in it, and people would come to see it, and you would make your money back. So like, you didn't actually have to write a script. Like, you could, it was an option, but you certainly didn't have to. All right, Troll 2. This is what I wrote. I don't mean to sound snobby over fucking Troll 2, but come on, this isn't even bad. Come back to me when you've seen Curse of the Screaming Dead and Night of Horror back to back. So like, if you're really out here in the bad movie minds, this is like a masterpiece by comparison to some of that shit. That being said, 95 minutes is not a long runtime, and yet it feels like a bit of an eternity. It's also, bizarrely, anti-vegan propaganda. Like, that's what this movie is. It's like, apparently literally the director, or maybe the screenwriter, I think it was the screenwriter, Joe D'Amato produced this. I did not know that. I think it was this woman, Rosella Drudy, like literally hosted a party, and then like a bunch of her friends went vegetarian at the same time. And so her party didn't have enough food for them, and she was salty about that. And so she wrote a script about how like going vegetarian or vegan will like turn you into like a horrible troll person, and actually the key to health and being cool and based and attractive is just eating meat all the time, I guess. It's really strange. I have to sort of admire that as such a deranged and insane premise, though, you know. Also, Nilbog is a good bit. I like that. I like that the town is called Nilbog. I also like that there are 0 trolls in this movie. And they don't even say the word troll in this movie. This was clearly Italian exploitation, sort of classic exploitation stuff from our friends in Italy. George Eastman and Laura Gemser worked behind the scenes in this. Yeah, Laura Gemser came up on the credits, and I was like, what? All right, cool. That poster is kind of great, though. I gotta say, I like that poster. And I like how it technically says Troll Squared. I guess if Troll Squared is Goblin, now it makes sense. Also, my hot take is that the what was her name? Credence? She's hot. She was hot before she did the bit too. Okay, so like she shows up looking like disgusting and demonic and like a fucking troll witch lady or whatever, with like busted ass like teeth and like black lipstick and like black makeup and stuff, and like she gets progressively uglier. In my opinion, she gets hotter. And then she does a bit where she like lures one of the teenagers in by actually just appearing as the actress, who is obviously really gorgeous. Like, I thought that was clear even with all the ugly makeup on. And I'm just like, you wouldn't need to do that. You wouldn't need to do that for me. Like, I'm sold already with the fucking busted goth look. I'm into it. I saw this in 2nd grade at a sleepover, and it scared the fuck out of me. Not my proudest moment. I mean, in 2nd grade, this would scare me too. It's not for 2nd graders, you know? Like, those things would scare the shit out of me if I was like 6 years old or whatever. No need to be ashamed of that. That's, yeah, that's fair. Anyway, not as bad as you've heard. I think a lot of it was kind of intentionally funny, and then it is really fucking slow though. Like, it is a slog to get through. Next is Birth Year. So from 1997, I watched Wishmaster. Among the dumbest movies I've ever seen, I think, but it was very entertaining. Like, you've really written yourself into a corner with this premise, because if you think about it for like 3 seconds, you could make better wishes than the characters in this movie make, and you could just get yourself out of this situation, you know? Ernest Scared Stupid scared me at a young age. Shouldn't be ashamed of being scared of Troll 2 being young. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Be careful what you wish for. The Jinn, having been released from his ancient prison, seeks to capture the soul of the woman who discovered him, thereby opening a portal and freeing his fellow Jinn to take over the earth. Exactly. I hate wish movies because they don't ever wish for anything, right? Like, it's, you could do whatever you want, and people are like, I wish that you were like somewhere else for like a second. And it's like, okay, well, that's a bit of a waste. I don't know, man. It's fun though. I have the whole set of all the Wishmaster movies, and I don't know if I really feel compelled to watch all of them. I might sell it, honestly. It's the Vestron version, so if somebody's missing the slip for that, I guess make me an offer. Or if you're like, cool, I'll just send it to you. Yeah, I don't know. There's some fun special effects sequences in this, and it is campy and stupid, but yeah, it's not the best movie I've ever seen or anything like that. Next, Lon Chaney, Jr. or Senior. Been a really long time since I've seen Wishmaster. Yeah. I went with The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the 1920s version with Lon Chaney Sr., 15th century France. I don't know if I should be saying this word anymore because it's still like so present in like culture and stuff, but it is technically like a slur. We're going to say a Romani girl is framed for murder by the infatuated Chief Justice, and only the deformed bell ringer of Notre Dame Cathedral could save her. This has the issue that I have with a lot of silent films, and that the pacing is real brutal, and there's a lot of nothing that happens in this, but the sets are fucking immaculate, gorgeous, astounding, and Lon Chaney, dude, he puts in a fucking performance and a half. Like, it is really sad, and he does a great job. The scourging scene in this is really sad and pretty rough. The ending of this is really sad. Pretty effective, I think. And some just gorgeous imagery in it. So check it out. 21st century horror. I went with the Black Phone because Black Phone 2 was in theaters and I wanted to see it. And I had never seen the Black Phone. These are all first time watches, by the way, which is why there were films that I definitely saw that would have fit some of these categories better, but they were rewatches, and I wanted to challenge myself to do all first time. Do you have a favorite silent film? That's a great question. Off the top of my head, He Who Gets Slapped is probably the one. There's definitely others though. Like, there are really good silent films, but I think it's that one off the top of my head. There might be a really obvious one that I'm forgetting. There are sequences from other films that I think are better, like Nosferatu and Metropolis have some of the best sequences ever filmed. But in terms of like a sit down, start to finish watching experience, they're not my favorite. And yeah, I think He Who Gets Slapped is just like an easy one to recommend to anybody. And it's like entertaining and thematically rich and moving throughout. So I'm going to go with that one. Again, though, there might be something I'm forgetting. Okay. The Black Phone. I wrote, much tamer and cornier than I was hoping or expecting, still very entertaining and keeps your attention the whole way through. Haxan. That's the real answer. Thank you. I totally forgot about Haxan. That's my favorite silent film of all time. The movie is fucking amazing and has some of the best imagery ever. So check out Haxan. Thank you, Vince. I knew I was forgetting something. Or The Black Phone. Yeah, this movie's really entertaining, like I said, and it's like never boring, but like it's really dumb. Like, I'm sorry, this is a dumb movie, and like it's so cheesy and schmaltzy and like corny as fuck. Never Talk to Strangers. Finney Blake, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy, is abducted by a sadistic killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of little use. Well, I mean, I think it would be of no use if you can't hear it, but whatever. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. Okay, I don't have to feel like I'm spoiling anything, though, because that's just in the premise, but that conceit is dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. He's just like randomly picking up a phone that's there, and like the ghosts of the previous victims are like coaching him on what to do. I feel like if you think about it for too long, like it falls apart and it doesn't make any sense. But even if we're just granting like whatever, it's just like magic shit or whatever. Like, it's cheesy as fuck and it's dumb. I don't like it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, it's entertaining. It's decent for what it is. Ethan Hawke is decent in it, and I like the mask. I also like the aesthetic of it. It's got a very kind of very the 70s aesthetic because that's when it takes place, and they do a good job recreating that. But look, this guy made Sinister. I love Sinister, and that movie is fucked up. Like it is. There's some real disturbing shit that happens in it. I am kind of surprised with how hard it goes for how kind of a mainstream sort of film that it was, you know? So I was like excited for like this because it's like a child killer sort of thing. Like that's fucked up, you know? I was like, okay, we're gonna see some crazy shit. Not really. It's pretty tame. Like, you know. Sorry, I guess I'm just a sadistic sick freak and I want to see crazy shit, and it did not deliver, but I mean the performances are decent, so it's also kind of like a Christian movie. Like it's annoying, whatever. Next is Witches and or Warlocks. So I had never seen the first Troll, and you know, now that I've seen them both, you don't need to watch the first one to watch the second one. I'll tell you that, because they're not related even a little bit. But I watched the first one. So this film actually reminded me quite a bit of Harry Potter and of sort of Never-Ending Story and like these sort of there was a period of time. Black Phone is garbage. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it's not great. I feel like there was a period from like the 80s to the early 2000s where you had a very specific type of creature effects that are very nostalgic for me and like very good. And this is part of them, which I okay, I can't tell if you're being facetious or not. I definitely do have a lot of religious trauma, but like also the ideas are bad, and that's kind of it, you know. And like Christianity is like the premier driving force of like fascism in America right now. So yes, I do have some amount of beef with Christianity. In any case, if you're not trying to be mean, I apologize for popping off at you or whatever. But yes. So I was like, this reminds me of Harry Potter. And then fucking the dude's name is Harry Potter. Like, what the fuck? J.K. Rowling needs to, like, I guess, pay these people or something. It's crazy to me. And the thing that's weird about it is, like, I feel like in a regular movie, you don't hear somebody's name over and over and over again. But, like, for whatever reason, they keep saying the name Harry Potter over and over and over again in this. And it's very funny. Anyway, this is not amazing or anything, but like in terms of like a sort of more or less kid-friendly fantasy horror film, it's charming and I enjoy it. So check out Troll. You know, I've been talking about a lot of trolls today, and yet we haven't gotten any trolls in the comments. So that's nice. I appreciate that. We got 24 people in here. That's pretty cool. This is a reminder that tips are open and greatly appreciated. You will make Godzilla happy. You will make me happy. And it'll be a cool thing that everybody wins. Hit the like button on the stream, please and thank you. And feel free to be active in the chat. Haunted House is... Okay, you weren't trying to be mean. I appreciate that. I grew up Southern Baptist. That's why I asked. Yeah, I grew up Catholic. So... rough times all around, it sounds like. Okay, I watched Good Boy. I was hoping that this could be my animal attack movie, but the animal never attacks anything. So it's, you know, maybe technically for like a second, but it's not in the spirit of that. So whatever. Okay, here's my review. It's undoubtedly a very creative endeavor to have a dog be the lead actor and protagonist in your live-action horror film. Unfortunately, this is still too long, despite how short it already is. I think this would have worked better as a short film, but I'm still glad it exists. So, the conceit of this is that genuinely, like, you are following the perspective of the dog. Like, it's not like it's a movie about a dog. It's a movie from the perspective of a dog. Like, he genuinely is the protagonist and the lead in the film. Like, if this was up for Oscars, you would have to argue that this is the lead actor, you know? And like, look at him. The dog is cute. It's a cute movie, but it just, the conceit wears a little bit thin. I do think that this would have been a pretty effective and entertaining, interesting, and cute short film. I mean, like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, maybe. Like, I think you could have made it work. And that's a great poster too, by the way. But I don't know. This felt like it was an eternity, and it is only what, 73 minutes. So like, we're already feeling like, you know, we're really padding to get to like a feature runtime here. But it was cool to see it in theaters. It was cute, even though I felt a little bit talked down to in the post-credit sequence where they did a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. I feel like it mostly exists to just assure you that the dog was never in distress at any point. But yeah, they kind of explain how movies work a little bit at the end, which, you know, actually, I think that's probably good. More people should think about how movies are made and stuff more thoughtfully. Next is Female Vampire. The category was Lena Romay, the Jess Franco film, with a banger fucking poster. Like, bro. Okay. World famous shock. A mute noblewoman's vampiric heritage compels her to drain the life force from all of her lovers. Okay. You see what's going on here, right? There's literally nothing particularly, like, this is a very standard issue, sort of horny, sapphic lesbian vampire movie, and like, the story is very thin if it exists at all, but like, it's gorgeous. Like, it's just fun to watch, and it is probably too long, but it's just got a great aesthetic to it, and she's really hot, and it's very horny. So like, I don't know, man, I enjoyed it when it was on. So Jess Franco, enough said, no thank you. I don't know, I think I'm coming around. I've seen a few of his movies at this point that I thought were decent, so we're getting there. My mom grew up Catholic, and the nuns would beat her with rulers, so we don't support the Catholic cult at all. Our beliefs is that it's demonic. I like the genres of Christians that think Catholics are like actually like spawns of Satan. I think that that's pretty funny, having grown up Catholic. I mean, they kind of are, right? I'm just joking. It's okay. Okay. Next is Sweetest Taboo, which, if you're not familiar, means that a child is killed on screen. I wrote, "Leave me alone, Purple Man," because the credits sequence are set to Grimace Smoking Weed JPEG by Chat Pile. One of my favorite bands, one of the best albums of what, last year, the year before? Just a fucking banger, and like, that's a crazy song to put at as the credits. I wish they had elongated the credits such that we could have heard the whole song, but you hear most of it, so that's cool. So this is a VHS film, so it's like sort of found footage. I think it is all found footage, but it's different segments by different directors. Yeah, let's see. Does it say which segment? No. Okay. So like, some of these were better than others, but the whole thing was pretty entertaining, and honestly, I think that this would be a pretty good Halloween watch. Because it is thematic, and it is very entertaining. The one I liked the most, honestly, is the one that most qualifies it for this category, which is shit. What was it called? I'll find it. Kid Print. That shit was fucked up, dude. That shit was fucked up. It's about a like photography studio that takes pictures of kids such that it's easy, and it has like a bunch of identifying information like height and stuff like that, so that it's easier to give to police if they get kidnapped or whatever. Dude, that shit is fucked up. And then the last one was pretty entertaining, the one where the guy makes a haunted house The one directed by the guy who directed Wreck was honestly not that good. That was probably the one that was the most disappointing to me, but it did have the most wince-inducing, what do you call it? Wince-inducing shot in the whole thing. There's some rough stuff in there. Brad Henderson said that kid print was a real thing. Wait, what? Yikes. Let me Google that. I'm seeing some Facebook posts of people saying that this was like, okay, some people are not happy with this segment. I think it really pissed people off for being as fucked up as it is. Let's see. I didn't like the interludes either. Like the wraparound segment with like this diet soda. It was very repetitive and didn't really have a point. So, Alex Ross Perry is who directed it, who has not done like horror films to my knowledge, and then did like insane shit. So, I don't see anything about this being based on a real thing. But I could just be looking up the wrong thing. Kid print was real to help kids back in the day. Oh, so it's like a real service that existed, but not based, but like there wasn't one that was like murdering kids and stuff. Let me try looking it up without a space. More broadly, kid print could refer to any video or image used to identify and search for a missing child. Okay. I liked Alex Ross Perry's Pavement movie. I own, I think, 1 or 2 of his films, and this is still the only one that I've seen, but whatever. All right. No murders. Okay. Next is South America. I finally cracked open my Coffin Joe set and went with At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul, the very first Coffin Joe film. So this is from Brazil. There's an undertaker in a small Brazilian town searching for the perfect woman to bear him a superior child. Unable to conceive with his wife, he kills her and sets out to find someone else. Queen of Earth. Excellent quasi-horror movie. Nice. I remember I went to the mall and got my picture taken, and my mom gave them all my info. Okay. I mean, that does seem like a system ripe for abuse. I'll say that. What a great poster. Look at this shit. That's so sick, dude. Anyway. I had a coworker who looks exactly like Coffin Joe, and I texted him. And I was like, has anybody told you that you look like Coffin Joe? And he said no, so I guess it's not, the cultural translation isn't quite there yet. Hopefully this will take off more. I was debating between a 6 or a 7 on this one. I thought it was really, I thought a lot of the images in this was like amazing. But again, it is just very slow, and it's already a short movie. So like, it's kind of rough when your 80-minute movie feels too long, you know, but I think it's a great start, and I'm excited to see where the series takes off from there. So, slasher, this one is questionable. I'll tell you that. It's questionable. I kind of just had to make it work. But it's Bone Lake. This is a new movie that's out, and I actually really liked it. It seems to be, yeah, I guess people don't like it, but I really liked it. I thought it was nasty. I thought it was entertaining, and I thought it had interesting things to say about monogamy and heterosexuality and that sort of thing. Is this the one where he goes to hell and it's colorized for that segment? Coffin Joe. It is not. This is the very first one, entirely black and white. Unless I'm forgetting something. I guess I'll try to, it's a female director too, which is very cool. Has she done anything else? Yeah, some other stuff. But this movie was good. I liked it. And it was fun for me to watch in a theater. I was like, one other person was there, so I don't know that it really popped off, but I enjoyed it. It does follow a kind of formula that I think people are getting tired of, but I guess just keeps working for me because I keep liking these movies. But Yeah, it's, let's see. A couple's what's your body count? That's a good tagline, actually. A couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. In this darkly hilarious and seductive horror story, a dream getaway spirals into a nightmarish maze of sex, lies, and manipulation, bringing terrifying secrets to light and triggering a bloody battle for survival. That gives up way too much. I probably shouldn't. Well, I mean, I do my best with like the premise that's right there, but I think that gives away too much. So sorry. But this opens with a fully nude couple running through the woods, getting shot at with bow and arrow, and it gives a close up to this man's dick and balls, and the arrow goes straight through his testicles. Unfortunately, that is where the movie tops. It peaks right there. It doesn't get better than that throughout, but it was a brave way to open your movie, and it was very fun to see that on a giant screen. So that's my pitch. But yeah, I think that this is a fairly intelligent film about sort of contemporary dating mores, and I don't know, man. Monogamous people need to figure their shit out. That's all I'm saying. Poly people aren't off the hook, but damn y'all. Hammer or British? I went with Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. I love the Hammer Frankenstein movies. They're so good. I watched a lot of Frankenstein movies this month, actually. Blackmailing a young couple to assist with his horrific experiments, the Baron, desperate for vital medical data, abducts a man from an insane asylum. En route, the abductee dies, and the Baron and his assistant transplant his brain into a corpse. The creature is tormented by a trapped soul in an alien shell, and after a visit... Okay, this is giving away too much. I'm too jealous for a poly relationship. I mean, it's good that you know that about yourself, but I would also encourage you to interrogate where your jealousy comes from, because I think a lot of it comes from insecurity and from a feeling of ownership over another person that I think, not to say that that's what every monogamous person is like, but I think that a lot of it boils down to that, and it's worth interrogating. I'm not trying to say you have to be poly or anything, but things worth considering. Dude, you're correct, actually. Well, thank you. Let's see. This is the one where Peter Cushing is the most like straightforwardly evil that I've seen him in this series. Like, it's kind of insane. He does some deranged, depraved shit in this, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling like it was October until I put this shit on, and I felt at home. I felt in the season when this was over. Hammer movies just really do it for me in terms of getting those vibes across, you know. Are the letterbox synopses user generated from the movie database? I have uploaded content to TMDB, but never tried editing a synopsis. They are, I think, probably at a certain point they get locked if there's like an official synopsis or whatever. But yeah. I'm married. My husband actually was the one that introduced me to your channel years ago. Well, thank you to the both of you. I appreciate that. If you're happy in your relationship, keep it as is. Don't fuck it up. Monogamy or poly only work if everyone involved is mature enough to be fully committed to the situation. Yeah, it's, look, the secret's, not to say that I know everything, but or that I'm like some kind of expert with an amazing track record, but I've made enough mistakes to tell you that the secret to any relationship is communication. Like actual, honest, real, uncomfortable, vulnerable, fucking keep you up at night, like awful communication. That's the whole thing. You have to be completely honest, and you have to be vulnerable, and you have to open yourself up to be hurt. That's the only way it works. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, so the data, I mean, if it's a real, you can definitely edit it, or at least try. I'm actually curious now. Let me see if it will let me edit it on this. Okay, it's making me log in, so let me do this real quick. And when I say communication, I mean you have to be honest with your partner, but you also have to be honest with yourself. Because a lot of people are not honest with themselves. And that's not necessarily a criticism. That's just like a true thing. And it's a lot of work and it's really hard to be honest with yourself and know what you want. So over what I'm looking at here, the overview is locked. So the budget is not locked, so I could edit the budget, but I think they find some kind of official source for it for the bigger titles and just confirm it. And then that's how that's done. But for smaller stuff, you definitely can. So anyway, we're kind of going long tonight. I really did want to finish October, but my voice is starting to get tired. So let's see. We'll see what we can do here. Next is Toby Hooper. I'm Dangerous Tonight. I watched this yesterday during my marathon, and I really enjoyed it. It's maybe actually not as good as Frankenstein, but I kind of did this last minute. The ranking itself, I just kind of went for it. So this says Machen Amick, Twin Peaks alum, Shelley Johnson, strong candidate for the most gorgeous human being that's ever lived in it. Directed by Toby Hooper, which is the category, and my friend Will Dotson does the commentary on the Blu-ray, which I'll be checking out when I can. Amy has a new dress that will take your breath away forever. An ancient Aztec cloth with a curse accidentally finds its way into the possession of a young woman. She decides to make a dress from the cloth. Whoever wears this cloth/dress comes under its spell. All inhibitions and moral responsibilities are lost. This was a really fun movie. I liked it a lot, and it played really well with the crowd. Oh, Jeff, you've seen it. Nice. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a TV movie. You know, it's not amazing, but like that score's too low. It's really fun for what it is, and I think it has a clever conceit, and I think it's like pretty effective in what it's trying to do. So check that shit out. I enjoyed it. Yeah. That chin was so beautiful. I mean, it's kind of insane that a human being looks like that. There are so many parts where she's like her evil self in this or whatever, and she's like asking people to do stuff, and I'm like, bro, if Shelley Johnson came up to me and asked me to pull my own fingernails out, you wouldn't have to ask me twice. That's all I'm saying. 1980s Return of the Living Dead. This is the other screening that my friend did. This is a classic. It's great. Toby Hooper has a good track record with made-for-TV films. I'll need to watch more of them. I don't know. This is a classic. Like, you probably know what this is, or you've seen it. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. It's real goopy. It's real nasty, and I love how the main zombie looks in this. I think it's a great visual. Yeah, I didn't know until Val looked it up on the way home, but this is apparently where the trope of zombies eating brains comes from. Thank you, Amstray. I appreciate you. Shout out. $10. Let's go. We're at 10%. Hell yeah. Let's go. We're running that shit back. Hell yeah. Dancing as fuck. I remember seeing her for the first time in Sleepwalkers. I've never seen Sleepwalkers. Just recently watched Return of the Living Dead for the first time and had a blast. Same. Yeah, this was like a bulletproof sort of classic that had been on my list for a long time. I was glad to have finally seen it. I love this film. Yeah. Yeah, this one's really good. I might like it more on rewatches, but it's really fun. Oh yeah, it's crazy to me that this like nasty, random, like sort of exploitation movie like created one of the most, like one of the stickiest sort of tropes in pop culture. Like you can go to Hallmark or CVS and buy a card on it with like a joke about zombies eating brains, and it comes from this fucking nasty movie. I think that that's fun. Ingrid Pitt, I went with Countess Dracula. So this is a bummer. Well, I really liked the movie, but like I have the network, and you might like Sleepwalkers. It's very cat-centric. Yo, you got my attention. We're definitely going to be watching that at some point. Actually, let me look it up real quick, and then I'll tell this story while I'm looking it up. Sleepwalkers. That's a dumb tagline, but I like it. The first Stephen King story written expressly for the screen. Yeah, I want to see this. That's a banger fucking poster, dude. I would hang that up. That's awesome. I love that so much. Okay. Aesthetic is on point. Sleepwalkers was screened at the Horathon like this year. That's cool. Good times. We got the Blu-ray. I can load it on Plex. Go for it. That'd be fun. Okay, so I have the network Blu-ray of this. It didn't play on my region free player, and my friend Sam tried it on his, and it worked on his. So I don't know what's wrong with my Blu-ray. I don't know if it's maybe my player, but I guess I'm selling it because it won't play on my player. So if somebody wants it cheap, hit me up. I think it's out of print because the whole company went under, but it didn't work on my player for whatever reason. I have an LG. I don't know if that matters, but yeah, I couldn't get it to work, so I had to watch it on Plex, which is never fun when you own a movie, right? It has the best theme song. Nice. Hungary 7. I'm not good with Roman numerals. 17th century? I hope that's right. After being widowed, the old Countess Elizabeth Nadasti of the Bathory lineage fortunately discovers a way to become young again, but the price to be paid by those around her will be high and bloody. Cats are 10 out of 10. Nice. I mean, if there's good cats in a movie, there is a floor to how much I'm going to like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to like it a built-in amount if there's cats in it and the cats are good. Which they're always good because they're cats. 17th. Nice. Nice, I got it. Okay. Yeah, this is Countess Bathory. You know what this is, right? In terms of adaptations of the story, I really enjoyed it. I really like Hammer movies. I really like Ingrid Pitt. I had fun with this. K&B effects. Jeff, here's your moment. Phantasm 2. I really enjoyed this. Can I change the backdrop? I don't like it when they're the same thing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These are all pretty good options. But I think I'll go with this one. That's fun. He looks so much like Dean Norris. I thought for sure it was him. I was like, yo, homeboy from like Hank Schrader is here. It's not him. The ball is back. Ball is life. Mike, after his release from a psychiatric hospital, teams up with his old pal Reggie to hunt down the tall man who is at it again. A mysterious, beautiful girl has also become in Mike's dreams, and they must find her before the tall man does. I think this is a really good follow-up to the first Phantasm film. I don't think it's as good, but it stays weird. Like, it is very surreal and strange, and it's artsy, and I really like it. It's a little bit slow, like for some of these sections, it does take a minute to get going, but especially in the back half of this, there's some crazy shit that happens, and I really enjoyed it. The photo with him holding the ball is a tattoo I have. This one, the poster? Nice. Ingrid Pitt, she was the one in The Wicker Man who's just chilling in the bathtub, right? Sure is. Sure is. And there's definitely more of that in that movie, so enjoy that. K&B Effects, who did the effects, I guess. And I mean, the effects in this are fucking amazing. So shout out K&B. Next is 1970s. I went with Tombs of the Blind Dead. This is a fucking vibe. La Noche del Terror Ciego. Nice. Armando de Osorio. Okay. Makes Night of the Living Dead look like a kid's pajama party. That's a great tagline. Also, more banger posters. This shit rips. 13th century Berzano, a legion of knights known as the Templar, were executed for conducting black magic rituals and committing human sacrifices in a quest for eternal life. 700 years later, they rise from the dead and attack a group of vacationing college students who visit the remains of their abandoned monastery. Very light on plot, very high, very heavy on vibes. The aesthetic to this is perfect. The zombie guys look amazing. The cinematography is gorgeous. I really liked this movie. It's a fucking vibe. I have a Phantasm 2 bootleg with a disc of behind the scenes footage of K&B. Nice. That would be a fun thing to upload to the Plex if you can. Next is TV movie. Ghost Watch. I kind of wish I saved this for the Halloween marathon because it would have been perfect, but it might show up in a future one. We don't want to give anyone sleepless nights. Night of the Seagull, this year's Horathon. Is that a sequel? Nice. Halloween 1992, the BBC decides to broadcast an investigation into the supernatural hosted by TV chat show legend Michael Parkinson, Parky, and a camera crew attempt to discover the truth behind the most haunted house in Britain. This groundbreaking live television experiment does not go as planned, however. So this was like entirely scripted, but they played it straight like it was really happening, and they actually got like noteworthy people on British TV to play these parts. So like it would be like if you turned on, I don't know, Wolf Blitzer or something, and then he was like investigating a fucking haunted house, and then it looked like it was really haunted, and like, you know, this apparently got a lot of people. I did really enjoy it, and it's like found footage adjacent, right? Or like it's mockumentary. I just love mockumentaries. They just really work for me as a format. Big fan. And this one was cool. The monster in it is good. The ghost, I guess, is good. The performances are good. This was just a vibe, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think this will be in the rotation for future. Oh my god, I have so many fucking Instagram messages. Sorry. I think this will be in the future rotation for Halloween viewing for sure. I think I'll like it more on a rewatch too. South Korea. I Saw the Devil. My review reads, this wants to condemn vigilante violence while also reveling in it. Moralizing and prurient. Sumptuous cinematography meets gratuitous violence, also much funnier than I was expecting. This is like a straight up Tom and Jerry cartoon, but it's like viciously brutal in its violence. Yeah, I think this is maybe a little bit too long, and I don't know, I think that it doesn't fully work in exploring the themes it wants to, but it is just gorgeous. I think I just had too high expectations. I think maybe I could meet this on its own terms and enjoy it more on a rewatch, but generally speaking, I think I might have just been a little bit let down because I had heard that this was really scary and really disturbing, and it's like fairly disturbing, but it's not scary at all to me. It's just kind of really funny. There's some good comic beats in this. Yeah, South Korean sort of Fincher-esque thriller, I guess, slash horror. I mean, it is fucked up. It delivers on that front, and there's some great performances. Yeah, I don't know. I vibe with this. I did dig this movie quite a bit. Next is The Hunger. I watched this like an hour ago. Not an hour ago, because we've been going for 2 hours. I watched this before the stream. Category was J and B. I didn't see a J and B in there, even though I was specifically looking for it, but it was on a list of films with J and B in it, so I'm gonna assume that this is accurate. Night of the World said, this one really disappointed me. Check out The Chaser for more killer stuff. I've heard good things about that one, so I should check that out. But yeah, it just wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. I think maybe, you know what? I think maybe a large part of my problem with it is that it's just a little too unbelievable. Like it really wants you to suspend your disbelief. I don't know how much it succeeds all the time, but The Hunger rules so good. Okay, I've said this a lot tonight, but this is really one with like a glacial pace. Like it is so slow, but this movie is gorgeous. This movie is artsy as fuck. This movie is so horny and so fucking sexy. Like, bro. Okay, hold on. Nothing human loves forever. 5,000-year-old vampire Miriam promises her lovers the gift of eternal life. When John, her cellist companion for centuries, discovers that he has suddenly begun growing old, He attempts to seek out the help of Dr. Sarah Roberts, a researcher on the mechanisms of aging. Catherine Deneuve, David Bowie, Susan Sarandon. You got Peter Murphy at the beginning. Some of the hottest people that have ever lived. And like, maybe I shouldn't spoil it, but like, there's some real hot sequences. Bro, not to be like this on Maine or whatever. This movie straight up like got me horned up. I don't know what to tell you. Like, David Bowie donk? Did I miss that? I missed that. When did that happen? I must have been looking away. Unbelievable. I gotta go find that now. I gotta rewatch this whole movie because clearly I didn't get the experience that I was supposed to. Unbelievable. Anyway. I just, man, yeah, the colors are unbelievable. The sequences in this, I don't know, like it's very, very light on plot. And like, honestly, I was a little bit confused by it. I don't quite understand how the lore in this works. It seems to break its own rules a bit. But whatever, dude. I don't care. You could put this on mute and I would enjoy it. Like, it's so good. There's a scene when he runs nude and you see it. Is that like early? Okay, at what stage of his character does this happen in? Is he like old as fuck? Anyway, this is like fucking sapphic vampire, fucking goth kid, goth boy, like fucking royalty right here. Like, check this shit out. For sure. Sounds like a dog or a cat is in trouble. Hopefully nothing I need to attend to. But I have to dip out for a second. That's why. Earlier on, okay. Next is Shelby Oaks. I didn't make this number one, but I considered it. I gotta be honest, I really did. Okay. So if you're unaware, Chris Stuckman, who makes he does make movies, but he makes videos here on YouTube. He's been doing film criticism, movie reviews on YouTube for like a fucking minute, like 10, 15 years or something like that. Somebody I watched when I was like in high school and like first getting into movies, like actually getting into movies. At this point, I mean, I watched a couple of his videos recently and I don't think they're bad. I just think that they're a little bit surface level for me. Like, he doesn't quite get into like his reviews are like 7 minutes long and he just kind of, you know, it's not quite what I'm looking for in film criticism, you know. It's a little bit but also like some of his videos that he's made I really respect, like the one he made about leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses and coming out as like pansexual and stuff. Like I really admire that and I think that he's a cool, like, good person. So I was definitely rooting for this and I had heard pretty negative things about it. So I was like, well, I'm still going to support it. YouTuber solidarity, like, let's do this, you know? Jehovah's Witness is another cult. Yeah, they're a straight up cult, like, for sure. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I want to support it. I want to give it a chance, you know? So I went to see it. I checked out a theater I'd never been to before, the only AMC we have in town. Here's my review. Okay. I seem to be in the minority here, but this genuinely scared me quite a bit. Camille Sullivan is the MVP, turning in a truly believable physical performance that sells her fear and makes me share it. This affected me similarly to Skinamarink and how it taps into childhood fears. What if the fears you had as a child that you thought you outgrew were true all along and came back to haunt you? Sure, it's derivative and I might have preferred it if it stuck to the mockumentary style, but I'm willing to forgive unoriginality if you can actually scare me this bad. Consider me Stuckmanized. Indeed, this scared the shit out of me, dude. I'm just being honest about that. Like, it tapped into a very specific fear, you know, a very specific wavelength. It's not as scary as Skinamarink. It's not nearly as good as Skinamarink, but I think he's got something. Yeah, I don't know. It like, fear is extremely subjective. I saw The Devil and I laughed the whole time. And people that I really trust told me that it was like maybe the scariest movie they've ever seen. Didn't do anything for me on that level. This, people are saying, is like not good at all and like kind of a joke. And like it actually scared me pretty bad. Like, the first like 20 minutes or so of this are like mockumentary style, and then it goes into a straightforward narrative. And there is a little bit of confusion there with like how that works from like a viewer's perspective, like what exactly are we watching, you know? But like I think that setup is really effective. I think that I don't know, the rest it just works for me. I think it's really good, and like fucking yeah, the lead performance is insane. Like she's really good. Like she's like physically shaking in a lot of these scenes, and like you believe it how fucking scared she is. And like I don't know, there's like a creepy dog in this, which like I was really afraid of dogs growing up, so like that definitely tapped into something. Yeah, I don't know, I just really liked it. I will defend this movie. Jeff says, so I think Skinamarink is boring and not scary in the slightest. Would I hate this one the same? They're very different. That point of comparison only exists for the sort of the specific type of fear that it taps into for me personally. Like they both deal with like childhood trauma, and childhood fears. That's really the only comparison. This is very much a straightforward narrative film, whereas Skinamarink is like an experimental art piece. Yeah, I don't know. If you hate it, don't be mad at me. Like I can only be honest, you know? Like I feel like people say that most of the time when they shit on something. Like, look, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest with you. But like that also goes the other way when like people are saying that something's bad and I had a good experience with it. Like I'm gonna be honest about that, you know? Maybe this will age well, maybe it won't. I don't know. I really like it. Let's see. Who took Riley Brennan? A woman's obsessive search for her missing sister leads her into a terrifying mystery at the hands of an unknown evil. That's a great poster. And like, yeah, there's some really scary sequences in this. 2.8. So it made it onto my contrarian list, but shout out Chris. I think he did a good job. That's why I like you. You're very unfiltered. Thank you. You are going to get my authentic opinion on pretty much anything I talk about. Am I breaking up? Oh no. Hmm.